Hi.
Hi.
I'm new to this form of marketing,
Yeah.
and as a photographer, there's so much content out there
Yes.
that, it's like kind of overwhelming. How do you stand out in them? How do you get yourself to stand out in this marketplace? Because
Oh,
there's
it's a fantastic question. It's a fantastic
overwhelming.
question. Yeah. Stated another way, like, and I'm going to give you like a quick and succinct example, and then I'm going to give you a more in-depth example. Do you have an active Instagram account, just out of curiosity?
Not terribly active. I more am on Facebook than Instagram,
Okay.
although I do some Instagram.
It's okay.
I
I was gonna
find
pull.
problem. So many of my pieces are more landscape oriented, and I don't like the square format.
Yeah.
But I know that I haven't learned how to make it so that there can be rectangular. So
Yeah, it's okay. So I'm going to show you this woman behind me, right? And her name's Carol Walker, and she is a wild horse photographer, right? She goes
I do
in.
that as well.
Yeah. Oh, you do that as well?
Hmm.
Oh wow. What are the odds of that? And you
Good
know,
example.
yeah, great customer, great friend. And so we've been working with her and contemplate the difference between these two scenarios. Here's a picture of a horse. I'm posting it
Hmm.
on my Instagram, I'm posting it on my Facebook. Maybe I give the horse a name. That's awesome. And that's it, right? Does it sell or not? I don't know. It's just a picture of a horse. There's a lot of pictures of horses.
Right.
So when she tells the story, though, of the fact that this particular horse is named Zeus and it lives on the such and such reservation and it's been the wild horse there for 15 years and the BLM is currently trying to eradicate the wild horses from this land and we need to do things to fight this and that has two foals and here are the two foals and it loves jumping and kicking here, then the picture starts selling. And the takeaway from that is it's twofold. One, in terms of the work, you need to include story in what you do. That's what sets a JPEG apart. Also, you're part of the brand as much as the work is. Everybody wants to hide behind the cameras, photographers especially, and sadly, in today's day and age, you got to be in front of it. Okay, and let me just tell you, I hate being on video. Okay. Prior to the pandemic, I was never on video once. I had a podcast. I did audio, which is much more comfortable for me. But guess what? I'm contrarian enough to understand in the world that we live in today, video is just far more effective than anything else. And so my ugly face is staring back at yours right now, right? Staring back at your lovely face. So, and the contrast is sharp. So you're as much a part of the brand as anything else. So it needs to be pictures of you holding the work, pictures of you merchandising the work, not just 2D image after 2D image after 2D image, which so many people do, and they wonder why their Instagram followings are not growing. It's one of the things that we teach. It's one of the things that we do. But also, too, knowing that you're a photographer and knowing you've talked to hundreds of photographers over the course of your lifetime and knowing none of those photographers are doing any active marketing whatsoever. And even if they are doing any active marketing, they're going to peter out after 3 months and not do it consistently 52 weeks a year over a 5 to 7 year period. That's what makes you stand out. That's what makes you stand out. No one ever does the marketing. No one ever does it consistently. So part one is just knowing that half the battle you're already in the top 5 percentile, but then you have to do the work. That's what we teach.
Right. Thank you.
What are the odds that you were actually a wild horse photographer though, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was just one of
Yeah.
those little
And I
points.
do, documentary portraiture and landscape photography, a little bit of everything.
Awesome, awesome. And how do you like what's the revenue source? I mean, do you have a service portion of the business in addition to
I
the
use
fan art?
Mug, and I do commissions for people for
Hmm.
equine portraits, or I'll do personal photography, just kind of commission work. But I'm semi-retired, so I don't do a ton of it unless I want to. So,
Yeah.
but I would like to have a little bit more income. I own horses, so I would like my horse art to
Hmm.
cover my horse expenses. That
Yeah.
would be ideal.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Um,
okay.
yeah, and let me know who else has questions. In the meantime, I just have to tell one funny story to you, Sue. So my roommate in college played polo. Okay, I went to school down at
Oh,
UCSD,
great. Mhm.
and he went and got this horse from like Bakersfield or something on a trailer off Craigslist for $50. It was like, come pick it up. He ended up training this horse up to be an incredible polo horse. And then the polo grounds ended up repossessing it because he couldn't afford the bill for everything else. So I'm very cognizant of how much horses cost. Was my roundabout way of saying that.
Oh, one other question.
Yeah,
I'm
please.
sorry.
No, please. That's what
Um,
it's for.
so if I have an existing website for using my business name, can I, and it's under Smug Mug, can
Mhm.
I use, uh, you don't allow people to upload a ton of pictures, do you? I mean, because sometimes I'm
No,
doing a
so
portrait
yeah,
session.
we're not a marketplace. You own everything. The only person that can decide how many pictures to upload is you. You can upload as many as you
Okay,
want.
so is there a physical limit to the number of images that can be put up?
I do think there is, but whatever it is, you're not going to reach it,
Okay,
right?
because if I do say, if I have a client that I do a commission for, and can I have
Private gallery, yes.
a private gallery, you
Mm-hmm.
can do that
Oh
sort of
yeah.
thing with
Oh yeah.
that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because then I can upload a whole boatload of things that they may want to look at and things that they like, but personally I may not care for,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can make choices off of that.
Yes, all
Oh,
day.
you can do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
all day. And then what's even better is that, like, you know, I get so infuriated by service-based photographers, and mainly one of my best friend's wives, because she's the normal portrait photographer for all of us. Meaning she like picks her spot and does the Easter photo and does the Christmas card photo, and then she does like a Halloween one. She does like 4 times a year where all of my friends go and use her, right? And what is she doing? She's nailed her location. She's nailed her time of day. She's nailed her light. She's nailed her retouching. We all get these incredible photos that we love. And then what happens? A digital download. And then I have to go take it and get prints myself. I don't want to go get prints myself. Why can't I just order the doggone print? Number one. Number two, why can't you email me before Christmas every year and say, Patrick, your wife told me you were a terrible Christmas shopper, which I am. Here's the photos you had of your kids over the years. You can order them. They're still in the gallery. They're ready to go, right? And, while you're shooting, I want you to take with you those 5 sample prints that I had before, because no one knows what they look like. No one knows what an acrylic print looks like. No one knows what a metal print, not the normal consumer. Why aren't you showing them, right? So I love the revenue possibilities for you guys. And, I don't want you don't get me wrong. I've never met a revenue source I don't like, okay? As long as it's legal and, moral. And you have a portion of your business where you're trading dollars to hours, and you have an hourly rate. And so those sessions have an AOV, an average order value, that you're never going to exceed because you can't clone yourself. So when you add in the print revenue, because you've made it easier, you removed the friction to your potential customers to buy prints, not just this year, but in perpetuity, all of a sudden the AOV, the average order value of your sessions, goes up. You're making more out of the same period of time. And there are so many photographers that don't do that. And I get so mad at my buddy's wife because I'm like, what happens? I have to truck my kids down there with my wife. I'm sat there on this little bluff above the ocean where I live, and my wife is over there shaking a stuffed animal or whatever, trying to get my kids to smile. Okay, and what am I doing? I'm in the background just going, kill me now, get me out of here, looking at my phone. What could I be doing? Your assistant could be there with a big table and stands in which here sits a piece of canvas, here sits a piece of acrylic, here sits a piece of metal. Hey, Patrick, just to let you know, we're having a shoot special, and you can get any prints ordered today. Here's what they look like. We have a nice $275 intro package up to $1,000. If you want to order one now, I'll give you 20% off. I would have bought just to get out of there quicker.
Yeah, 'cause I don't sell digital downloads aside from just web-sized pictures,
Right.
people might want to put on their social media. I don't sell anything besides prints. So,
Yep.
so but I like some of the concepts of your marketing and ideas, and kind of forcing myself to get out there and set all that stuff up that I have.
You have to.
wanted to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So,
You have to.
all right. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. And congrats on the summer retirement. It sounds really nice. What's up, YouTube? Thanks for checking out the Q&A. What if you have your own question? First, you can leave me a comment below on this YouTube video. I see them. I will respond. Number two, definitely encourage you to subscribe. It's very easy to do. There's some fancy motion graphics going across the screen now. But there's a subscribe button. There's a bell button. You'll know when we're live. You can come on and say, Patrick, I have a question, even from your YouTube app, which is super handy. And then the third is 3 times weekly, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, free Zoom calls. We call them the Art Business Workshops. There's going to be a link directly below me in this description. You can sign up. They're free. You can come answer your question, which I'm sure will be awesome. And I will do my measure best to make sure my advice is slightly better than marginal. No, but in all seriousness, I'll take a crack at answering it. Thanks for checking out this video.